Today we're taking the stereo out of a 2003 Nissan 350Z. We see this CD changer in shop quite often for several problems. Today this one seems to be grinding, attempting to eject the CD. You find this one does it 4 times. So we're going to move forward with removing this stereo from the dash, take it into the shop, straighten it out, and putting it back into the car. We're going to start with the gear shift and lower the collar on the gear shift. This will allow you to remove the C-clamp spring and lift the gear shift straight up and off, and remove the collar. That we're going to put the spring back on because this will snap back on without doing any more work to it, and put the cap back on. Next we're going to start with prying the edges of the center console up, and this will bring the gear shift up. We're going to set the parking brake, turn the ignition on, and shift to a lower gear. This will allow us to remove the panel up and out of the way. There is a ribbon cable to this stereo, and we're going to push the trigger down on the ribbon cable and disconnect it and set the panel back to the side. And this ribbon cable is very touchy, so don't pull, don't scratch, don't tear it. Next we're going to move in down below the control panel and remove a screw at the bottom right. We're going to remove a screw down at the bottom left. These are the inside screws on each side. There are screws at each side. This will allow us to pull the control box from the dash. And there are connectors on the control box as well here. Because these can be tough connectors and hard to get access to, we're going to use the tip of the screwdriver to push the trigger down and release the connector. Same for the second connector on the box. All these connectors in the dash are keyed. So they only fit one spot. There's no having to mark the connector or anything. But the triggers on these connectors are usually at the center of them, and you push the trigger down, it releases the latch and allows you to remove the connector. Next we're going to remove the screw at the right. This is the mounting screw for the car stereo. We're going to remove the screw at the left side as well. Next, with a small flathead screwdriver, we're going to move up to the front panel above here. There's usually a little slot here to pry this piece up and out. There we go. We're going to lift the corner of this up, put a pry bar in there and work our way across, and this will pop the panel right up. And we'll take this panel forward from the dash. Again, this one also has a connector we're going to push the trigger down on. And that removes that panel. And we're going to move in to the back here, and then underneath the display screen there is another screw to remove. And also on the left side there's a screw as well. bottom right side of the panel, we're going to remove one screw that holds the panel going up around the dash, and repeat for the left side as well. And that will allow you to pull the panel forward from the dash. Now there are several connectors at the top of the gauges here that we're going to move around to. And we're going to start with the first connector at these gauges and move on to the second one. Again, we're using a small tip of a screwdriver to push the trigger in, and this pulls the back of the panel forward. And this allows you to lift the stereo up out of the dash along with it being attached to the panel and get access to the back of the car stereo here. We're going to grasp the antenna and remove that. And then there are 3 connectors on the back of this stereo. Again, we're going to use our flathead screwdriver to push the triggers in. There's one. There's 2, and a third remaining connector. Now everything's disconnected. Again, all these connectors are keyed, so they only come out one way. This is how you remove the stereo and the front panel from the dash. You can separate the car stereo and the brackets from the dash, and by removing the 2 screws on the side of the bracket here that attach to the face, and 2 also on the left side here, which will remove the radio and the entire brackets here. So we're going to get started on those. Okay, there's 2 screws. We're going to remove the 2 screws on the, looking at this, it'll be the left side, but actually it's the right side of the car stereo from the front. Now this will allow you to separate the car stereo from the front bracket. And this is how you remove this stereo from a Nissan 350Z. Hope this video has been helpful. Thank you for watching.